Hi, it's Robleto. We're back on F123 driver career mode. It's time to choose the team we're racing for in F1. As you can see in the thumbnail, I'm going for Williams. uh, I decided to replace Logan Sargent, and I can explain. Um, I felt like since we were teammates at Carlin, the better American driver of the two would get promoted to Williams, and I beat Logan by.
That's everything we need. You can go back and edit anything we've done so far, and we'll come back here at the start of each season. Or if you're ready to go,
I beat Logan by a mile. Won the championship, and I don't even remember where he finished, but he was always out of the points, it felt like. So yeah, we went with Williams, replacing Logan. So yeah, that's who we were racing with and starting our F1 career. Excited alongside Albon. I can't remember doing anything with him in previous F1 games. Obviously, he was gone for a year. So yeah, excited to be with Albon. The Williams, I don't really like the paint scheme in real life. It just looks a bit off, but in the game it is beautiful. So that's a plus. Now we're choosing our tracks that we're racing with. I'm doing a 16 race season and I don't want to do the full thing. It just gets drawn out. Plus, this gives me the opportunity to get rid of tracks I hate. So we're getting rid of Baku, Monaco, two street circuits I do not like. Silverstone, I want to add, but it is so annoying in the F1 games. It is frustrating. The AI always, the last few games, have been overpowered. So I don't want to deal with it. And can't remember off the top of my mind which, if I did add the Netherlands, that's another one where the AI are just so OP. So yeah. I want to add Silverstone because it's Silverstone. It's classic, you know. You can't have an F1 calendar without it. Anyways, the big thing with my career, we are not controlling upgrades. Like I mentioned in the last video, I want it to be pretty realistic. The driver doesn't control the the engineering and the upgrades and the parts the team puts on, and it adds more of a risk for me to jump from team to team as we progress in this career mode. So we're with Williams. I would like to see them go to the front and be with them through that process. But here's the car reveal. It's a beautiful car in the game, like I mentioned. So yeah, I like to go with Williams to the top, see what we can do together. It'll be annoying and difficult since I'm not controlling the upgrades. I can say from now, several races into the career, there's a part that has an 80% discount, and they won't do it. It's like 200 resource points. I want them to do it so bad. So a little teaser to the future video on that. So yeah, a reminder: this is not an immersive, realistic career mode. I am using flashbacks when I get frustrated. I have a lapse in judgment, and I just completely forget what I'm doing and I crash. I'm not gonna flashback every single mistake. I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna just use it every single time. So, yeah. And then for this race, I did turn off traction control. I mentioned in the last video, sometimes I have it on medium. In the F2 career, I did have it on medium the entire time, but for this race in Bahrain, I do have it off. As we just saw right now, an upgrade did fail, so that was unfortunate. We are in qualifying. Skipping the qualifying, I don't want to show any practice. I don't really want to edit all that. So I'm just gonna be showing qualifying the race and of course, you know, some behind the scene developments with upgrades and such. I am using a setup from that I downloaded on Steam. I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm not buying. I know there's some website that I can buy setups on for like $70. You know, I'm just not interested in that. I'm just here to have fun, get a good setup from Steam, workshop, and yeah, just race. So, fast forwarding time, I'm just gonna do one lap at the end because there is 3 rounds. There are 3 rounds, excuse me. And Bahrain's a pretty easy track for me, so I'm not gonna bother putting multiple laps and get a banker, and I'm pretty confident in what I can do. So I'm glad Bahrain is the first race of the year and not something like Spain or Saudi, which are difficult to get used to. I feel like Saudi, even though it's one of my favorites, I had to put a lot of practice in because, you know, there's a lot of corners that I need to perfect. So yeah, so we're running no traction control. I don't remember the AI level. I think it's around 95. Oh no, I did put a banker lap in because there's my delta. So I did put a banker lap. Ignore what I said. I thought I didn't. So we're 3 tenths down on our banker lap, which sucks. 4 tenths, 5 tenths. I used the same set of tires, I believe. I recorded this, I think the day or second day after the game came out. So I didn't really watch many videos. I know watching Ben Daly, he says that the undercut or new tires are very overpowered. So I didn't know that, but now I do. And yeah, got a bad snap of oversteer, and I was like 5 tenths down. So no point in trying. Qualified P10 as we go to the garage. Weird cutaway. But yeah, we move on to Q2 in our first qualifying session with Williams, which is great, and Albon does not make it. Yeah, the midfield is really tight, as we see in real life, so it's cool that it translates over into the game. And you can see I skipped to the end of qualifying 2. I stepped away for a moment and let the game run. So I forgot to pause it and edit it because I said that. So that sucks. But whatever. So here's the grid.
Russell, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Stroll, Gasly, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Joe, Davies, Albon, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, De Vries, and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. I'm joined by Anthony Davidson at the start of a new season, and it is a clean slate. Absolutely anything is possible right now.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Alright, so here we go for the Bahrain GP. We are going with the soft medium strategy. In practice, I do not like the hards. In general, in these F1 games, I do not like running the hards. So we're running the soft red tires. I think we're adding some fuel because I play it safe. I don't know what the difference is between some, like half a lap of fuel in terms of pace. So it doesn't matter to me. And the race is underway. Side by side with Albon. Pretty cool we're starting side by side. It should have been higher up because I messed up in qualifying. And I almost ran into back of Tsunoda. I hit the braking board. I had to get the spot back, which is fine. I completely messed up. I broke pretty early, but then all of a sudden everyone just like slammed on the brakes. I look to the right, try to get past Tsunoda, but he's in the slipstream of Gasly, so he goes for the move. I have to back out, and I get hit from by Joe. I didn't expect that move from him, and we continue on here to the S's, and the AI check up a lot under braking, so we make a move on Gasly. I didn't really want to do this because the Alpine is faster, so I wanted him to go, carry me on, but he was really slow. And here's a replay of the start with the leaders 4 wide into turn 1. The Red Bulls make contact and the Ferraris end up on top. Disaster start for Red Bull. Look like Leclerc is in first, Carlos Sainz second, and that is Perez in third. Max now under attack by a Mercedes, so this is a terrible start for Red Bull, the dominant car in F1 IRL, but yeah, not a good start for them in our career mode. We jump back to our race, back right behind Tsunoda again, but here's Gasly on the attack. Again, I didn't want to pass him, but they were just so slow, and I'm pretty slow on the straights, so I just give up and hope he can tow me along up to the next pack, which it looks like he already is. He's kind of filling that gap between Tsunoda and myself. Hopefully Joe doesn't hit us again and throw us off, as we get a good exit, so we do break away from him. He's a little bit of overtake to keep up with Gasly, and his teammate Ocon is up there battling with Tsunoda. Tsunoda made a great move around the outside, so we were able to close the gap to them. And Gasly, I decided to brake early and just let him go, but again, he was just so on the brakes, so I go for the move. I spin my tires, and I'll be honest, I hit replay flashback out of habit, and I'm like, no, I made a mistake, just live with it. And I'm all over the track and just everywhere, screwed myself over. Now we're middle 3 wide with the AlphaTauri, De Vries, and the Haas. The Haas bounces off of the curb, pushes me into De Vries. I don't know how I didn't get damage. And Hulkenberg, I don't know what he was doing, entering the corner. Entering the corner that shallow. So yeah, that screwed us over, but I put myself in that position. That was my own fault. And yeah, down to 18th. I think we were in like 13th, if I remember correctly. So yeah, not a good start for us, even though, it started out pretty well. So here's a replay. Yeah, I had the move done, and I just got too happy on the throttle, trigger happy, and I just kept messing up, trying to not lose time, and that allowed all these back markers to get past us. There's a Haas just completely messing up. So yeah, that sucked. But I have to own up to it. Don't flashback, I messed up. And we rejoin lap 3, and the Ferrari Leclerc, he's out of the race, and you can see his car up in smoke. Carlos Sainz takes the lead. Takes the lead. Perez up to second, and that is George Russell, I think, in third. So Max didn't get back up on the podium. And then here, naughty for me. I should not have overtaken Hulkenberg there under yellow. I didn't get a penalty for it, so I guess I had just overtaken him right after the yellow flag. So yeah, so here's the live replay of that. Well, I show the replay first, but here's the live thing that happened. See, it's yellow. I made contact with him, and on the mini map you can see there's no. Oh, it is yellow. So I'm not sure why they allowed me to overtake him. But I'll take it. I feel bad. Like, I'm not proud of this. That's kind of a theme you guys will see later throughout this video. I'm just not proud of some of the things I did. So yeah, we're a second and 3/10 behind Bottas and his teammate Joe, just ahead of him. So we skip ahead to lap 4, or later in lap 4, I forget where we jumped from, and still about 1.2 seconds back. You can see there's a huge train forming Looks like behind the Aston Martin. I'm not sure which one it is. So that allowed me to gain a ton of time this lap, and even send one on the inside of Bottas. Excuse me, Bottas. And yeah, so we get the move done. We're up to 15th. So we have since overtaken Hulkenberg and Bottas, and Leclerc is out of the race. And those are the 3 spots we've gained since my lap 2 shenanigans. Continuing on here in lap 4, you can see the line kind of separating a bit, but there's still a train forming. And we skip ahead now to my overtake on Zhou down the 3rd DRS straight and get the move done. Yes, we get it done. Left in space. So I'm trying to be respectful, but I've done some pretty bad things. Anyways, back to lap 5. My teammate's ahead of me now, so we're in 14th. About 6/10 behind Albon. I'm not sure if we can get points. I think the train is helping us more catch up, as I have to avoid Albon twice, because whenever the AI get this train, I am much better than them under brakes, because they just don't go for any moves. Albon, for some reason, I don't know if I missed something, but he's kind of getting detached from the pack ahead. We kind of regained some time again under brakes because the other cars in front are in that train. So about 4/10 back. I'm not using overtake, just gonna use DRS and just sit behind him for a little bit and see how our pace is. Maybe preserve our tires, but then under brakes again, like I don't mean to go for the move like on Gasly earlier, but I went for it. I didn't want to run into the back of him, so I pulled out. I'm like, hey, we gotta go. So Ocon's on hard tires, so we should be faster than him, despite our, car performance differences. So yeah, here's a replay. Yeah, a replay of the move on Albon. Yeah, so this time I didn't spin my tires on the exit, and you can tell I didn't because Albon hung on, to being side by side with me. But unfortunately, it compromised his run out of that set of corners, and now he's down a place. Yeah, again, I'm not proud. I should not have gone for that move. I didn't expect to do it, and yeah, and that cost Albon a position. Lap 8, little snap of oversteer. There's another caution, and it looks like an Alpine Ocon is out of the race. Yeah, so another free position for us. Hopefully our Williams is reliable. We'll find out. So it's a Ferrari and an Alpine. If anyone's watching this, is Alpine or Alpine? It annoys me because in the US we say Alpine, and I don't know, but everyone in Europe, in the UK, people say Alpine. So, anyways, pit stops have started. So
Gasly stopping now.
Albon's gonna get the undercut on us. Because looking back, the undercut is overpowered, and we just need a clean stop from the crew. It doesn't need to be optimal. Just get us out, no issues.
Okay, go.
And nice. So we come out right behind Gasly. I wonder if he had damage, because I was not this close to him. So there goes Albon. We lose position to him, and we do. Was I ahead of? Yes, I was ahead of the Alfa Romeos. So Albon got a great undercut. He was able to overtake 1, 2, 3 cars: Bottas, myself, and Gasly. So he's in 11th. So he could be on for some points. So let's see how this turns out. I'm hoping Gasly can pull us along, but at the same time, I want Albon to, see if he can reach the points. So moving ahead, Gasly and Albon are battling, and Albon did let him go, which is smart. The Alpine, as I mentioned earlier, is faster. than the Williams. So yeah, smart move by Albon. Just let him go and don't fight with him. And yeah, maybe he could tow us long, but unfortunately Albon didn't get towed along like I hoped. So it's lap 13, lap 14, so 7 laps to go. And I just want to sit behind Albon. Looking at our pace to Gasly, he's pulling away from us. Almost 3 seconds now. So this can just be a battle between Albon and myself. So I'm just chilling behind him, not trying to overtake him. Manage my tires. Don't push it, and make a move on in later. It would be great to beat my teammate, a rookie, beating a veteran, I would say now, in Albon. So nearly run into the back of him there. And this is when I realized, man, I think I am faster, but like there's no point in trying to race him right now. Especially with Joe catching up. I'm planning on waiting to the last lap, or second to last lap, to make a move. And you can see Gasly up ahead is 4 seconds ahead, so over 4 now. There's no way we're catching him. So I'm just chilling behind Albon. And he nearly broke DRS, so that got me really worried. So I started pushing harder, starting with this lap. And my front tires got pretty cold, so I guess I was like really taking it easy. Now they're back up to temperature. 7 tenths behind Albon, 4 tenths behind Gasly. 4 seconds. Did I say 4 tenths? 4 seconds. 4 seconds behind Gasly. Yeah. So yeah, 5 laps to go, coming up on 4. Looks like Tsunoda is getting passed by Gasly, so they're in a little bit of a battle. Where are they on the mini map? They're down the main straight, so Tsunoda is still ahead of Gasly, it looks like. Their dogs are kind of going back and forth. There's a Haas in the mix too. So Tsunoda is back behind Gasly. And nope, he's still fighting Gasly. Yeah, you can see him up there now. He is fighting Gasly, still fighting Gasly. And that has brought the gap down to 2.5 seconds, this battling. So I realized, hey, since we're gaining that much time, I might be able to beat Tsunoda and get 11th. So here I start pushing, like, I gotta go. This is a good opportunity to get 11th. We might not get points because Gasly is so fast. And yeah, we can beat Albon and Tsunoda. And that'll, if we never score points this season, in 11th place can put us ahead of other drivers that don't score. So down the main straight on lap 18, we are making a move on Albon, and I should have used more overtake. I didn't realize I would stall out that much, and Albon's gonna fight it out around the outside. We give each other room. We don't push it, so he did fight it a little bit, but we are ahead, and he is gonna get DRS on us. I won't have any, and we're only 2 seconds behind Tsunoda and 3 seconds behind Gasly. So the gap to Gasly has stabilized a bit, and to Tsunoda it's about 1.7, so it is dropping, but the gap to Gasly is about the same. So we can get 11th, and now with 2 laps to go, trying to catch up to Tsunoda, but I think my tires are going off a bit. We're dragging Albon along, which is great, so maybe I can help him get past Tsunoda as well, but we're running out of time, and we're now going to the final lap. We have a yellow flag. Albon has had a moment and out of the final turn. So we could have had a 12th and 13th finish at least, as I try to make time up on Tsunoda to see if I can overtake him on this final lap. But I'm not close enough, and I'm really low on ERS. But yeah, Albon was just over a lap to go, coming to the line for the final lap. He has a moment, so we'll take a look at that after the race to see what happened to him, because this could have been a great result for Williams, even though we got no points. 12th and 13th would have been great. So unfortunately, we could not catch up to Sonoda. And look at Magnussen is right there in 10th. If I had gone sooner, if I had overtaken Albon and not sit behind him for so long, I could have gotten a point in my first race.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Disappointing. Could have gotten points. I should not have laid back so much. And unfortunate with whatever happened to Albon.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. It's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
So despite the bad start Red Bull got, they were able to win the race. Carlos Sainz was able to hang on to get second place, looks like. Charles Leclerc blew an engine. So typical Ferrari letting him down. And so nice to see the game's realistic on that. So yeah, Perez is championship leader, of course, since he finished first. Yeah, I wasn't really proud of that race, honestly, even though we did pretty well. I should have gotten a point. I held back too long. Had some bad moments. Made a move on Albon that cost him that I didn't mean to make. Had that terrible lap 2 where I almost crashed. Yeah, I wasn't proud of this race. Have some stuff to clean up for the next one. Yeah, nothing else to do now post race. Like, I don't have upgrades or anything to check over. So in the next video, we'll see if the team has any upgrades coming up soon. Hopefully, pretty promising to see. We're just outside the points and can compete for points under the right circumstances. We could have gotten points. So here's what happened with Albon. Just lose it on exit. Looks like he hit the curb at a wrong angle, and yeah, just has to back out of it. And with that race over, I mean, that's right at the end of the race. He can't recover from that at all. So yeah, takes his time to pull away, and yeah, he's done. So yeah, not much else to go over. The next race is Saudi. Like I mentioned before, I think the last video, I love that racetrack, so looking forward to it. So join me back for the next video to see if Williams has any upgrades for us and see how well we do. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.